Mr. Minister, why did you decide to make steel part of your theme, the theme for part of your visit here to Sault Ste. Marie?
Well, as you know, the steel industry is a very important industry to Canada. It's also an industry that around the world has faced significant challenges. And one of those challenges is, of course, that there are countries around the world that do not respect international trade rules. And what they do is they build to overcapacity, and then they have so much surplus steel product that they dump it on the world marketplace. And Canada has not been immune to that. We've seen steel dumped in Canada from other countries like China. We are very acutely aware of the fact that we need to impose trade remedies, such as anti-dumping duties, countervail, to make sure that our Canadian industry can compete on a level playing field.
Essar Steel has actually declared its opposition to this as well. They looking for supports. How would this help them specifically?
Well, the fact that we're imposing anti-dumping duties against companies from around the world that are cheating, they have strongly supported that. We have a very, very good working relationship with Ron Watkins of the Canadian Association of Steel Producers. We are absolutely intent on making sure that our Canadian companies get to compete on a level playing field. It's one of the reasons that at the Port of Prince Rupert on the west coast of Canada, we prevented the state of Alaska from building a new ferry terminal because the state of Alaska said we only want to use American steel. And we said, no, you're going to allow our Canadian steel producers to compete. Alaska said no. We said, yes, you will allow them to compete. And we actually triggered a rarely used piece of legislation, Canadian legislation, to prevent the state of Alaska from moving forward without actually including Canadian steel producers in the construction project.
Just a quick comment on Essar's Deepwater Ports or Harbour project and the significant federal investment into modernizing that project or that facility.
Well, coming here to Sault Ste. Marie has allowed me to get a much better picture of the huge opportunities that we have here to develop a modern port, Port of Algoma. It's going to require significant investments. I understand these investments would be well north of $100 million. And we've already partnered with the city of Sault Ste. Marie as well as with Essar in the phase one portion of the project, which is a design portion. And we expect that going forward, Canada will be a trusted and viable partner as this project moves along. The opportunity to leverage Sault Ste. Marie's geographical advantage and allow this city to be the hub of trade activity, especially as it relates to the Great Lakes region, the huge market in the United States that we have available, is very exciting for me as a trade minister. So this was a very profitable visit.
Just very quickly, a comment on the state of the Algoma Central Railway and its value to the communities, Sault Ste. Marie North, and those small communities and the people that use it in between that area. What are your...
I can comment on that. Yeah. ACR, obviously, our federal government has been at the table since day one. We recognize the economic importance of the ACR. That's why we have extended funding for 3 years for $5.3 million. That's why, through my efforts, we extended funding in the initial year so that the stakeholder relation group could actually find a third-party operator. And our money is still on the table, and unfortunately, Railmark didn't work out. We are there, we are partnered, and we are working with the stakeholder group to find a third-party operator.
So you are aware of the September 9th due date of the stakeholder group trying to find that third-party operator. What happens if that date is or is not met?
Well, the federal money is on the table indefinitely for a 3-year period. So our money is there. In the event a third-party operator isn't found by the end of this season, because technically, we understand that, the ACR simply won't start up, the Sault passenger line, and that is unfortunate. But again, we are there with our funding, and we're the only party there with our funding. But this can't be a made in Ottawa solution. This has to be a made in Northern Ontario solution, and I'm there. I've been there all along.
What about the Canadian Tour Train beyond this season or beyond this year?
Well, that again, CN has continued to run that. And that'll be a decision that ultimately CN will have to make. And again, the third-party operator that we're seeking, they could potentially run the Agawam Canyon Tour Train as well. So time will tell. We'll have to see how things evolve.